for our budget challenge. Yesterday, you gathered your bill information and you put your bill information on this chart so that you have it to use as we start going into the next thing. Couple of things on this chart. So our auto insurance is only due in April, and our renter's insurance is only going to come out in February. The other thing is on our credit card. They're going to charge somewhere between $600 and $900 each month on our credit card. A lot of you marked that it was $15 here. That's your minimum amount that you have to pay. You're actually going to pay somewhere between $600 and $900 each month. Now, let's talk about how we can get to where the bill is due. So this is the day it comes out on, the day it's issued, and this is how many days to pay. So if it comes out on the 1st and we have 7 days to pay, that means it's due on the 8th. If it comes out on the 9th and we have 8 days to pay, that means it's due on the 17th. Pretty straightforward. If it comes out on the 23rd and we have 10 days to pay, that means it's due on the 33rd. We don't have 33 days in the month. That means we go into the next month by a certain amount. Depending on how many days are in the month, it will fluctuate to when it's paid the next month. So let's go through. So 12 plus 10, that means it's due on the 22nd. 10 plus 9 means it's due on the 11th. 26 plus 9, that means it's due on, again, this is another one that's going to move it over into the next month. The 35th, that means that we have not enough days in the month. That means we're going to take and move it over in the next month. 22 plus 11 means the 33rd. So that means there's not enough days in the month for that. That's going to be on the next month. 27 plus 9 means that we're going to pay it on the 36th. Again, not enough days. So the ones I circled are going to be ones that you're going to have to count and move. 15 plus 8, that's going to give us due on the 23rd. So the ones that are not circled, they're pretty straightforward. I'm going to do an example of marking your rent, and I'm also going to do one of the crazy ones, your credit card. The other one that's different is your bank. It comes out and is due on the same day. The bank is just going to withdraw whichever of these numbers applies to you. So those that chose some of these other numbers here realize that those you have to have a minimum balance in order to avoid. So you can avoid the 5 and the 6, but you have to maintain a certain minimum balance. And so be prepared to pay it, budget to pay it, just in case things don't go right. So we are going to take this information and put it in our calendar. So let me move to February, and we're going to first walk through the calendar and make a note of several different things. So the day that your bills and everything starts to matter is on the 26th. Everything before this date has been paid on time by you, and when you start on the 26th, you start with the amount in your bank account, and that is how much you have to go forward. That's how much you had left for when you got paid here. And we're going to go on. So now we look in March, we get paid on the 6th and the 20th. And that's the day the money is actually available in your bank account for you to use. In April, we get paid on the 3rd and the 17th. And then in May, we have one payday that we're going to get before the game ends. And the last day of the game, is the 7th. And so now let's go ahead and mark some of our bills. Let's start with marking on the 11th of every month. We are going to mark our bank. And so the 11th of February is before the game starts, so we're not going to worry about paying our bank fees there. In March, we're going to have bank fees. And for me, I chose the $3 one. Oops, I marked it on the wrong day. It's on the 11th. And so the bank is going to take $3 out of my bank account that day. And then I'm going to move ahead to April. And the bank is going to take my $3 out of my bank account on the 11th. I need to make sure that I have the money in my bank account each of those days so that I can avoid any overdrafts. And then if we look in May, it's past the point of whenever our game ends. So I'm not going to worry about May. So let's go back and let's do our rent. And I choose different colors for each item so that I can see it. So in February, our rents we have moved in on the 26th, and they're kind enough to issue us the bill on March 1st. So our rent is going to come out on the 1st. And remember that we have a different amount for March. So let's go back and look. So if you chose the studio apartment, you have $1,100 you owe. If you chose the one where you had a roommate, it's $1,150. I chose the roommate option, so that means in March I pay $1,150, and it is due on the 8th, based on us counting and doing the chart. So now, anytime between these two dates, I can pay it and it be on time. Let's look and see about in April. It's going to work the same way. My rent came out on the 1st, and this time it's only $600 because we don't have to pay our deposit again. And it's due on the 8th. Now let's go ahead and mark in May. Our rent came out on the 1st. It was $600, and rent is due here. So now let's take one of the non-straightforward bills. Like I said, we're going to do credit card. So we're going to go back to February. And our credit card comes out on the 26th. So I'm going to use CC for credit card. And I know my bill is going to be somewhere between $600 and $900. I don't know exactly how much, but I know I'm going to have an amount between those two. I know all I have to pay is more than $15. So I don't have to pay that full bill each time, but I do have to pay more than $15. And I will talk to y'all about strategy for staying on top of that bill when we get to where we're filling in our budget. So again, it came out on the 26th. And I have 9 days to get it paid. So if I mark 1, 2, I have 2 days of it in February. And now I'm going to go on into March. And I'm going to finish marking in March. And I have 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. That means my credit card is due on the 7th. You do not have to mark these little numbers down here. That is just for me to show you how I got to there. So again, on the 26th, our next credit card is going to come out, and we know it's going to be between $600 and $900. And again, I have 9 days to pay it. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and we're going to continue this on into April. And so in April, I'm going to continue on. So 6, 7, 8, 9. My credit card is due here. So now let's take and in April, my bill comes out on the 26th. So I have a credit card that came out here. And I have between $600 and $900 I need to pay. And I have 9 days to pay it. 1, 2, 3, 4. We're going to go on into May and continue out. 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. So my credit card is due on the 9th of May. You're going to continue this and fill in all your bills on that chart. I personally prefer to have it color-coded, and so I use things like different colored pens or highlighters or some combination to help note each of my bills. And on my chart, as you see, oh, I didn't do it on this one. I will mark it over on the side what color each of those things are. And so that's how you're going to fill in those bills. So I'm going back over here to the budget challenge. So making sure that y'all remember how to get to those quizzes, because by Thursday you need to have your quizzes done. So you go to Student Home. It's going to open up this chart. You scroll down until you get to the financial literacy, and you go to Outstanding Quizzes. Scroll down to Chapter 1. These two are just basically seeing where you're starting. I want to see a true assessment, so answer truthfully. And I am realizing these are a pre-assessment. This is just a benchmark grade. So as long as I see that you've answered fully, you get those answers. And then this one, the information you need to answer it is here in the chapter. So use the chapter to answer this quiz. So make sure you use that chapter. The questions are going to come from that chapter material. It may be straightforward, or it may be where you have to use some critical thinking. So use that chapter. A lot of kids will split screen and have the chapter open on one side and their quiz open on the other. And remember, you have until Thursday to get those quizzes done.